Hi everybody, it's Chris Byberg, the director of the National House of Prayer, coming to you today from Ottawa. Well, Marilyn and I are back from our vacation. We were out on the East Coast, and while we were gone, there was a whole lot of crazy things happening in the nation. I mean, you know, the Sean Feucht stuff, cancellation of those events, some would say religious persecution, and it's really, really quite sad, because once freedom of religion goes, everything else slides, even though it is the number 2 clause. Actually, it's actually number 1 in our charter. It talks about freedom of religion. So once you lose that, everything else slides. Everything else goes down the hill. So it's really interesting. All this stuff was happening while we were on holidays. You know, the Prime Minister, says he's going to proclaim Palestine as a state in the fall when he comes back, even though the House of Commons voted on that just a few months ago, saying, no, we're not going to do it. It was pretty much Liberals, a big variety of different MPs on that, not just, it was a very bipartisan vote, and they said no, but he wants to bring this forward. Again, it's like, what's going on? We see all these wildfires in the nation, and heavy-handed governments stepping in to curtail freedoms. Again, it's like, what's going on? Again, it's more of this stuff. What is going on? And I don't know if you've been. I was on a call this morning with our team, and I asked them, so what have you been pressing in on this summer? And many of them praying for families, praying for government, praying for wisdom, praying for leaders, praying for Israel, praying for all these things. It's like you haven't stopped, and I'm so grateful. Just because we take a holiday, you just haven't stopped praying, and that's really good. But one of the things that came up in prayer that was really quite, it's something we've been pressing in for quite a while. It's the fear of the Lord. You know, we oftentimes, what our government needs is the fear of the Lord. Well, that's true. They do need the fear of the Lord. And what this needs is the fear of the Lord. But what about us? Are we walking in that place of the fear of the Lord? Are we actually walking in that awe and reverence when God speaks to us to do things? Do we actually do them? I want to read to you something today from Deuteronomy chapter 10. I know that when we think about the fear of the Lord, we think of that verse in Proverbs, but the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, which it is. And when you look at many of the apostolic prayers that the Apostle Paul wrote, they had to do with wisdom and revelation and the knowledge of Him. So this whole thing of wisdom and the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. But I just want to read to you what the Lord said to the people, children of Israel, in Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 12. And now, O Israel, what does the Lord your God ask of you but to fear the Lord your God, to walk in all His ways, to love Him, to serve the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul, and to observe the Lord's commands and decrees that I'm giving you today for your own good. That's what Moses wrote in that time. The fear of the Lord is to love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul. Jesus said, with all your mind and all your strength, and to love your neighbor as yourself. The fear of the Lord needs to permeate the church once again, because how often are we, when the Lord asks us, and I fall into this too, when the Lord asks us to do something, we go, oh, that's going to be uncomfortable. Oh, that's going to be a little too difficult. Maybe He really didn't mean that. And I want to encourage you today to make this your prayer. Lord, I will love you with all my heart, with all my soul, with all my mind, with all my strength. And I will be obedient and observant. That's my posture. Not just to do the stuff on Sunday, but I want to be listening every day for His beckoning. It is a privilege. My mom said that she read this week, this summer. It's a privilege to wait on the Lord. And the reason why we wait on the Lord is so that we can minister to Him. And what ministers to God is when we are obedient. So I want to encourage you today. Don't just point the finger at the government and all these other things. You guys need to fear the Lord. And they do. But we need to fear the Lord with all our hearts. There's no room for half-heartedness when walking with the Lord. He wants it all. I know it's not fair. It doesn't sound like it's fair, but he wants it all, because in the Word it says, and it will benefit you. I'm Chris Byberg, the director of the National House of Prayer, and we will see you next time. Bye for now.